pumped up from Burmese Ghouls. This time around, they are on the red side.
The fact that they are banning the Esmeralda, that's a huge respect of ban for Ruby Didi. His Esmeralda is just really a headache to deal with. Just so hard to shut it down. Popo and Kubo will be banned out as well. Will Uranus be banned out here? That's a bigger question. And also Link just now. Is it okay for them to let go Link again? But mind you that Resurgence is on the first pick this time.
Yes, indeed. And of course, they might even opt for some different sort of bans. Remember, Selena is still one hot pocket pick that anyone could still go for. Well, technically, LY4 is not on the bid, but he's on maybe a beanie bag.
So the fact that they have himself as a first pick is not actually a huge advantage for them. The fact that they are banning out Loyi, so they want to narrow down the heroes that will be selected by Burmese Gold. If they actually pick something else for the ban, for even Selena example, so they might just lose Loyi along the way, which means their gameplay next one will be depending on a different hero, will not be Loyi anymore.
That's right. So this is going to be opening up Uranus. And of course, he did not see the light of day.
Oh,
same goes to Claude as well.
Claude is more painful. And we know it's so hard. You have to recounter this kind of pick with 100% CC heroes, which kind of losing your slot just for dealing with Claude.
Exactly, and I'm looking at LY4, who did phenomenally well inside of Game 1 when he's playing that Roger. Now he gets something which is even more mobile. You can just dive right in for those team fights. And speaking of team fights, we have Atlas here being locked in for maybe once again alongside with the on Uranus.
Oh, mind you that Kaja is still out there for everybody to grab on, which can be shut down a lot at this point. Again, we have Kaiser P on Kufra, and that Basha once more pick up by Sana. So will it be another trending thing going on between these two people or two individuals? They're gonna go just like how they did in the last game.
Oh, perhaps so. They can definitely stick to what worked on game number 1. And the only change here is the marksman so far for the side of Resurgence. While we are looking at Burmese Gold here, still looking at options. Jawhead. Oh, one fun fact, one point of time back in M1. They were the ones who actually introduced the Jawhead meta in towards the playoff runs. But of course, it was quite popular back in the MPL Philippines as well. So this is where Burmese Ghouls get the lead in terms of phase 2 bans. But oh my. We're going to be having, of course, a couple more seconds left for the side of Burmese Ghouls. What sort of bans are we looking at?
Oh. They are banning the off-laners on the side of Resurgence, just trying to stun a bit for the side lanes. But at the same time, Xbox, I'm not sure about this kind of ban though. They still have a lot of heroes. We've seen even Ruby pulling the side lanes just as good as Uranus can get. And it's also Tammuz along the way. So I do prefer them banning those kind of heroes, especially Tammuz when it comes to sustaining the lane and giving a lot chunk of HP being chipped down in the late game later on, which means the damage quite decent. So back about their draft here, Burmese go have to figure out, are they going to seal it off with a core assassin or a core marksman?
Okay, here's one thing that we might have missed out. Ling is available, Angela is available. So
they only have to pick one. They only have one.
I think they should, but looking at the situation here, I think like it's very important for them to get something that can peel off all that sort of chunk of health that Sana has on his box here. So wise move to actually take carry right now.
Yeah, they don't want to have... Just now it was a bit of a gamble the moment they picked Ling. Yes, Ling is a very versatile and is very hyper-mobile hero. But if you get shut down, you will be shut down quite hard. I'm talking about that Ling almost being paralyzed the whole game the moment Kaiser P jumps in, also Sana there.
Oh.
Speaking of, oh, I missed this guy. Finally somebody picking off Diggy just to counter off the Atlas, but you see how Sync played the Lunox just now. It was flawless. Still, the sustain is good. Chaotic offering for the burst damage, still decent enough, and well, easily used for Brilliance to evade anything attacks.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. At least like they do have plans to actually stop all of that. Oh boy, we talked about Ling. And he is coming up online for Burmese Ghouls as Kit is going to go in for their second attempt on this. So this is going to get pretty much rowdy as Burmese Ghouls does have quite a number of damage dealers on this side. So I'm looking at heavy commitments here coming from inside of BG, but Resurgence doesn't seem to be all too much phased as they are prepared for another battle inside of the Land of Dawn as Resurgence takes on Burmese Ghouls lineup.
Am I the only person who feels like the Burmese Gold draft is a bit greedy when it comes to getting themselves that farming?
Yes, I would definitely agree with that because Ling itself needs a very high resource from the jungle. And they use...
double buff at that.
Exactly, and not only that, I saw 2 retributions on the side of Burmese Ghouls, if I'm not mistaken. So, are we looking at maybe a speed through camps for some of these guys? What exactly are we looking at here?
5 seconds.
Obviously, Ling have to get for double buff here, which going to start a bit of the growth of Carrie's performance.
Straight in towards the game. No more introductions of whatever player there is. You guys know the drill. We're going straight in towards what we are here for. The games as D is in the mid lane with the rest of Burmese Ghouls now on the offense.
Oh, speaking of the draft again, Burmese Gold, they have quite an interesting lineup. We're talking about both Carrie and Ling will be playing as Retribution, same emblem, and also they are going for 4-1 here of all 5 men of Burmese Gold trying to force a fight.
And seems to be that there's a lot of pokes going on somewhere inside of the middle of the river. Oh, great knockout over the side of both Ace as well as they will be able to actually take down Kid for first blood. Maybe he actually flickers away and it will be another kill going over the side of LY4 as well. Things look a little bit sour. Ruby DD has to back away.
Oh man, that Ling didn't get himself that red buff. So they are playing as like the classic kind of gameplay or strategy, which playing more into 1-2-1, where the 1-2-2, where the Ling will probably just get the blue buff and going for bottom lane instead of mid, or maybe just gonna hop back to middle lane later on, which we have Ruby DD quite far from the rest of the team.
Oh boy, that definitely is a big catch over the mid side here. While Sync here, 1v2.
It's 1v2 and Sync is just, you know what? I'm not even slightly intimidated by the presence of these 2 guys.
In fact, he's actually extending towards the enemy side instead. But, oh, battle between Sana as well as D. Yeah, it's Uranus.
Oh, bottom Ling is struggling just to survive, but that bouncy ball, making sure he cannot run away whatsoever. He doesn't have himself that blue buff anymore. He died. He has to wait for a couple more seconds. Almost 1 minute. One more wall being forced here, and they toss one out. Kaiser tried to stay alive, but Singh, he got himself the ultimate ready. Will he go in for another fight here? Kaiser re-engaged, but that's just gonna poke them a little bit of damage so far.
Things are still looking pretty good for Resurgence up in the early game. It seems like Burmese Ghouls, they are forcing a little bit of issue here inside the jungle, knowing that Sync here is just moving around, but he's not too much having too much trouble at all, but it's going to be Ruby instead. He actually ejects him away, but oh boy, it's going to be him getting taken out. But oh, this is a big engagement coming in. Reynes will be able to actually secure the kill over the side of Sync, and Jason is the next one to fall for that double kill. Dido being brought down low. Flicker coming in from the side of LI4, but oh, re-engagement coming in from Sana.
Oh, going in for more. D is actually tanking so much, but they have to sacrifice Kid from the back line. Ace trying to run away. LY4 still full, half HP, almost half. While Sana still full HP. Coming up, Jason from the back, maybe try to reposition himself. Try to land that fatal link, probably try to go for the initiation. Sync already waiting at the back line here. Sana just to recounter whatever happens. And that's time to be popped out, and they got that one out. And D is nowhere to run or hide at this point. And they can only stare at what had happened for the side of Burmese Ghoul.
They kind of extended a little bit way too much and, you know, bite too much more than they could chew. I feel like they need to actually take a little bit of breather in between some of these fights. And, yep, there's no reason whatsoever that Ruby should even be there.
Yeah, the fight on Burmese Gold, they can go full aggression, but it's like once they combo done, they have to back it off and reset it for the second fight here. They cannot continuously keep on poking damage or force the fight.
Yeah, and this is what they have been doing time after time. Yes, they did get 5 kills out of that, but I don't see it being much too beneficial. They did lose that turtle. So far, at least they are still holding out towards that tower, which is a good news. But RSG, once again, pummeling over the side of D. It seems like this will be a tall order to save him. While Sana, yeah, he receives a little bit of tower damage. Yeah, that's just about it.
He's just a bit too much there for D. I don't know what he was thinking. He's just a bit overconfident, I say.
Yeah.
A bit disrespectful going against that much of people. And you do know those guys having quite decent damage on the side of their team. But back about the blue buff, they try to steal it away. Going invasive, pop the blazing duet. Time to be pop up as well. And it's being used. And they will have no counter measurement so far. But BG, Burmese Ghoul lost 2 men and will trading to none. Might just lose 1 more. This is Burmese Ghoul being wrecked in the mid lane.
Oh boy, and every single one of these members of RSG are just trampling them down. There's gonna be Tempest being popped up there by Kid, not gonna be hitting on towards anybody at all. They also lose out that mid lane pressure as it crumbles to dust. So 14-6, Resurgence on the lead.
They are extending the fight way too long for Burmese Ghoul. We just talked about it, and they just made that mistake twice, 3 times too much.
Yeah, and like you mentioned beforehand, like Uranus should be at the side lane doing constant pressure. Yeah, something at the very least.
Just Uranus stuff.
Very straightforward. It's not too much to ask for, but you know, like he's way too focused on side of mid lane, which he can easily be caught by the likes of Sana right here. As we are looking at most members of the side of Resurgence, they are already getting themselves occupied by the corners of the river.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're looking at Sana being ambushed quite hard there, but that Tortoise on. Just gonna make sure he's still alive for the next couple of fights. While top, they are really not trading here. Burmese Ghoul being punished the moment they didn't manage to do whatever they are planning to do. Their mission fails. And then at the same time, our Resurgence is not wasting any more time. They lost 1 more man and a turret up there. This is hard to watch.
Yeah, this is definitely slowly crumbling down for the side of Burmese Ghouls, but they are looking to trade back in terms of objectives right down below. But they are taking too much of their sweet time. Then it doesn't seem like that Atlas can actually do much. He only has 1 item, which is the mask that has been completed. But, you know, other than that, I don't think he's going to be receiving all too much gold. He's at 2K, while the rest of them are just double or triple the amount. Oh boy, Kid is being trapped by the corner of the wall. KZP is locking in, but Tempest will ensure his safety.
He was forced to use that. There's no way out for him. He's being cornered with the wall as well. We're looking at the item progressing for Ace and Kid. Both of them are going for endless battle. They know they need that lifesteal, need a little bit of damage and also sustainability. So they have to resort to that. But at the same time, they need to stall the game for such a longer time. We're talking D try to create the space for the team here, while Sync at the same time trying to burst it out, but it's almost impossible. This is what I don't like. When you move 5 men, if you're winning, it's okay, but when you're losing, you cannot have too much in an open space. Look how they just pressure all these side lanes and also the middle lane here. And Cat, woo! That was just, my goodness.
Oh boy, of course they disrespected the dive coming in, and of course Saint just turns it around, and the rest of RSG Resurgence just chased them all across map. BG only having Ruby DD moving all the way in towards the jungle, and I'm not too sure why exactly they did that, and they were so far off the radar. No minions for them to actually push the top side of the wave, and now they suffered even more of a huge blow because there's nobody to defend the mid lane once again.
Burmese Ghoul game style seems like all over the place. They try to move as 5 men, but sacrificing too much here. We're not even looking at any trade coming up from Burmese Ghoul. All they've been giving is just keep on giving. They're giving way too much towards Resurgence, and even Turtle,
generous.
I think...
Way too generous.
Too generous.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it is what it is. Like, we're looking at D doing very desperate measures to just peel off the 2 waves that's in the mid lane as well as the bottom.
That's buying them a lot of time.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing that he can do right now, and Sana knows exactly what he's up to, so his job here is to shoo away, you know, that pesky Uranus.
Yeah, that's that's the hero made for anyway, but they're gonna jump in. Kaiserby try to kill steal that buff, but apparently they don't even need Kaiserby to jump in because you know why? LY4 being farmed way too much, and D, you know that Necklace of Durance probably done on Lunox, and we can see that heartbreaking moment on the shield on top of his head there. So he will be having a great hard time just to keep surviving.
Yeah.
I take that back.
I didn't think he's over, guys. But, you know, Uranus thinks just another mega kill for Sync. Something new, maybe, on the board. And Sana now chase over the side of Kit. He's just going to be able to walk away and says, okay, nothing to do with Mr. Sana here. Still has revitalized anyways.
The thing is, Sana, he can deal with anybody solo, and the rest of the team can just marching form. And oh no, that time journey cancel out. That might be a beautiful Fatal Link, but sadly that will be countered by Dig and Ruby. That burst damage out of Chaotic offering one at the back and one at the front. Either you have to choose who you want to be dead with. It's either Lunox or you're gonna die with that Blazing Duet.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, the only guy that is actually doing all the heavy lifting is Uranus. Like,
D's like, I'm buying time, guys. I'm trying my best. But it's not going to be enough. This is just too fast, and they cannot sustain the early game.
Yeah, and of course, the lead is way too huge coming in. It's about 10,000, and the difference is about 10 minutes into the game. Lord is already arriving. Maybe they can't even wait for Luminous Lord in this sort of instance, and by the time that they do, they could eventually close out the game. But hey, we're already looking at LY4 soloing it. No issues, but oh, D gets pulled back, and this looks a little bit iffy here while they are resetting that Lord right there. They are baiting Burmese Ghouls to fight. They understand that they love to fight, and they are just slowly luring them in. But here comes Kid, goes in with the Tempest right across the map. But, you know, he's all alone. But there is Ace here to actually give him a little support, while D, it's the Turtle versus Uranus.
They don't even need anybody for defending their buff here. I'm talking about just sending Sana enough to deal with anybody on the side of Burmese Ghoul is more than they can, you know. They don't even need anybody to teleport.
Yeah, and, right now, I think this should be a 4-man collapse over the side of Ace. Ace will be popped up there. Nothing to do with this carry anymore. Kid is going to be landing over onto the tree, but it's going to be the time journey.
Star.
Oh, too close. Okay, he managed to actually escape out of that, but looks to me what's there in store for them. Oh, Uranus at the back is getting stabbed here and there, and there goes a multi-kill for Sync.
This is just too much for them to handle right now for Burmese Ghoul. We're looking at 10,000, not even closing up the gap anytime soon. They even get themselves a Lord, which they can actually end the game whenever they want to. And only 2 turrets been taken down here by Burmese Ghoul. We're talking about the mid lane is untouchable still.
Look at the stars that's been topped out by the corners of the lane. Like,
that's cute.
Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
And the star is the one that you will be trying to avoid your best. Because I think, look at that. Everybody has themselves Necklace of Durance on the side of Lunox, and also that Diggy, and they have Basha. That's an El Natural Necklace of Durance.
Yes, indeed. Like, even KZP is having a good time, just soaking in a little bit of that sort of pressure coming in from the side of Burmese Ghouls. They have to back away. Lord is marching into this mid lane. Talk time is ticking right here for the side of the Burmese Ghouls as we are looking for potentially another final battle here. D getting pushed all the way in towards the mid side as they look for Jason. Oh, Jason's getting caught out, but it's a big team fight coming in. Tempest over on the 3 members on the side of RSG. But LY4 one-on-one against D. He's going to be able to actually seal the deal. Double kill going in, and it might just be that final blow in the coffin. Resurgence marches forward as they will be in the upper brackets to face off